Well, it's good to be back out here at the Post Chicken and Beer for Buffs Prime Time presented by Aflac. And we know about Aflac. We got the signs behind us here. Get help with expenses. Health insurance doesn't cover. Visit Aflac.com to learn more. I'm voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson.
That's
you know,
real
this
duck.
guy, there is Coach Prime's here.
That's a real duck. That's a real duck.
And here is the Aflac duck. Mr. Aflac is out. Buffs coming up that 27-24 victory on the road against Arizona State. And I told you last week this was going to happen here today. And, I'm always perfectly comfortable in accepting the fact that Coach will overshadow me. Today I'm being overshadowed by a duck as well.
Real duck.
What do you think about that there, Prime? Huh?
I don't work with real ducks when I do the Aflac commercials. This is a real duck.
There is Mr.
And she treating the duck like it's a trained duck. How do you train a duck?
Well, apparently they have.
How do you train a duck?
It's
I just want to know.
just sitting there right now.
Yeah, but how do you train a
I
duck?
don't know.
understand a dog or
Right.
even a cat, but a
Yeah.
duck, how do you train a duck?
They've done an amazing job
I'm
with it.
asking you. Positive reinforcement?
There you go. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I need to give the kids on the team treats.
There you go.
So I need to get offense treats,
Yep.
and then they'll score more.
Coach, we say when I train horses, you make it easy for them to do what you want and hard for them to do what they want. See, that's kind of a positive reinforcement with Mr. Aflac there.
Yeah, I don't know about that's going to work.
I am disappointed. I talked to Shannon Scott, our engineer, last week. I said, make sure we've got very tiny headset for him to talk
Wow.
today. But no, Mike Barely. Learfield didn't come through with a headset for the duck.
Sam, that's a real duck. See
Yeah,
there, buddy.
it's a real duck right there. You know, and by the way, Mr. Affleck's in town because we're kicking off Family Weekend, and so he's here to help us do that and celebrate all that's going on. And you know, speaking Prime of family, I know that you've been part of the Aflac family. Aflac
Aflac has
family.
been good to me. I'm loving
Yeah.
Aflac. It's not, you can better not say nothing wrong about Aflac at my house. Aflac has been really, really good. I'm finally, I got they do your thing.
Yeah, he's quacking.
Yeah, do your thing.
He was saying Aflac. I'm pretty sure of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
There you
No,
go.
it's Aflac, not quack. Yeah, Aflac. There you go.
Stick your microphone up there. We'll hear him nice and loud the next time he does that.
Yeah.
And by the way, Mr. Affleck told me he's offended by all of you eating poultry here today, right? Not happy about that at all. But, Coach, you can tell us a little bit about the value that you think Aflac brings to helping those in a time of need when they're sick or injured.
We started this relationship when I was coaching at HBCU, and Aflac has been contributing to HBCUs for over 25 years.
Yeah.
And that was something that I was very engaged with, and I loved every minute of it. And we share a lot of the same values. And doing this tenuous process of my foot and having a multitude of surgeries, I really started thinking, wow, I'm glad I'm covered.
Sure.
I'm really glad I'm covered financially, that I could make some of the things happen for myself. That's why I'm a tremendous advocate for Aflac and what they bring to the table for and closing that gap of what people can't cover. And I love that tremendously, but I learned it on a first-hand basis doing with my illnesses.
Yeah. Well, and you gave us a little inside baseball look at those commercials. See, I thought Mr. Affleck was there with you and Coach Saban doing the commercials, but it's just you and Coach Saban, and then they put
No, he's there.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
he is there.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right there. Yeah, it's amazing how you would not believe how they do this stuff. Like, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hitting his line cues and everything, what he does
Yeah.
at Affleck.
Oh, yeah. Really good.
Outstanding. Well, and by the way, you see most of you guys, you've seen out there, you get one of these little plush little toys out here.
Yeah.
And I was wondering.
You jealous? You jealous,
I
Doc?
am. Jealous.
You picked up the duck. You got a little start tripping on you.
See, look what happened there. Did you have anything to do with the gold chain on the Affleck plush toys?
I didn't know that was implemented.
How do you like that?
I'm pretty sure I did.
Yeah. Next move, we need sunglasses on.
That's coming.
So here's the thing with what's going on with Aflac. They're going to be here all weekend long for the game on Friday. And if you go,
Don't even try it.
Yeah, no.
I can tell when somebody look at you when they coming.
He's looking.
No, even try it, dog.
He's looking at you, Prime.
Don't even try it.
Wants a little piece of you. Aflac is going to be out on the math lawn on Friday, and so you can go on by, and there are going to be opportunities for photographs, and you can test out your football skills and that kind of thing. So Aflac's there. You go. Put the microphone. Look at that.
Do you think?
He's got something against you right now. I don't know what's going on. But that's the deal. It's a great partner for the University of Colorado, for Coach Prime. Obviously, we know that
Great partner.
for a number of years. And they're doing some great work, and they can help you out as well. So check out Affleck. He's shedding right now. Look at these.
Yeah. Honestly,
molting.
this is one of the funnest times of of the year when I get to shoot the commercials because I'm with Coach Saban.
Sure.
And I get to just be a kid in the candy shop with, to me, the greatest college football coach that ever lived.
Right.
And I get to just bombard him with question after question after questions until he gives me that look like, all right, now that's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I look up to him that much, so I love those moments on set.
Is there one thing with all that he's done in this business that maybe you learn from him and you think, boy, that really altered the way I coach or the way I approach things?
Do what you feel.
Is that right?
That's one thing. He don't second guess you.
Okay.
Do what you feel. Like
Yeah.
if this happens and you feel that, take care of that right now because
Okay.
it'll linger into something else.
All right.
He's given me tremendous wisdom in that aspect.
Awesome. Phenomenal coach. Phenomenal coach.
Oh, man, the best.
Are we going to take Mr. Affleck back now? Let's hear it from Mr. Affleck, shall we? All right. Oh, no, he came off the chair. He came off the chair. Yeah, now he's going to try and fly away. All right, Mr. Affleck's excellent. And by the way, for those of you in attendance here today,
wanna follow that?
Yeah. Afterward, Mr. Affleck will be out here, and you can take photos with Mr. Affleck. After.
Mr. Affleck would do really well on my lake in Texas.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I like ducks on the pond.
I did ask. I asked them. I said, where's Mr. Affleck, or what is a day like for him? And they've got a spot down in Georgia.
Okay.
And he sits out in the pond apparently with his buddies and
Yeah.
does his deal.
I had some. This is not a great story, so I'll tell you though.
All right.
I had several Mr. Afflecks when I first moved to my property, but I forgot to give them like a spot in the lake where they could
Sure.
sit up.
Yeah.
Because they had to come to the edges of the lake at night to really get rest, and they got the Afflecks. They got them.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
They got them. There was feathers everywhere.
Not
Yeah,
good. Now,
yeah.
see, that's not a.
There's feathers everywhere.
Well, at least you waited to tell that story to when he was gone.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, it was bad. It was bad. It was really bad.
Yeah. Nature took its course.
Yeah, nature has a way. We gotta. When you live on property in the country, there's a lot goes on. There's a lot go down at night in the DMs.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Now we make kind of an odd transition to football. We got to talk some football here today.
Yep.
Yeah. Give us your postscript from what went down in Tempe last weekend.
Yeah, we won.
Yes.
That's a good thing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You didn't seem terribly happy after the game.
I know I did because I wasn't happy. I don't fake it or front it. We're better than that. We're better than what we displayed, and we will show that this week, prayerfully, that we're much better than that. That game should have never come to that conclusion. Yeah, the way we went about it. We can't rely on Shedeur to put on his cape every darn week and turn into Superman and bring us back. We got to stop that. Yeah.
The slow starts, and you talked about that at the ball game. And you said I'm unhappy with the players, the coaches, everybody involved at this point in time. How do you approach that? What do you do? What do you talk about? What do you practice?
I can't tell you everything we talked about,
I
but
bet not.
it's going to be rectified.
Okay.
Or it's going to be rectified.
Right. One way or the other.
It's going to be rectified or it's going to be rectified. I just put it like that.
You know, the one thing about your team is, though, even within these challenging circumstances, you mentioned Shedeur. He's obviously a playmaker. You got other guys that make plays. Mata comes out and makes a play.
Yeah.
You get a tackle. You get a stop. This team's got a penchant for making plays.
Yeah, but we need to make those plays in the first, second, third, and fourth quarter,
Sure.
not just the last quarter. We got to come ready to play at the onset. When they blow the darn whistle, we kick off or we receive, we need to be ready right then and there.
Yeah.
And that's from all facets, not just the players, coaches. We got to coach with the same passion in the first quarter that we do in the fourth. We got to call it the same way in the first that we do in the fourth. We got to be ready to go. Just got to be ready.
Is it from your athletic history? Did you see guys? Is it a sense of urgency? Is it a being dialed in?
It's complacency.
Yeah.
Complacency sets everywhere, and you don't eradicate or get rid of it. It's going to overtake you. So I identified it, I called it out, and it better handle itself, or I'm going to handle it.
Sure. You know, we sit here every week and we talk about it. Seems like a different guy every week seems to step up. Javon Antonio gave you a great game last week.
The kid can play. I believe in the kid. He's a wonderful human being. What it mean? He's a yes sir, no sir type guy. Just does his work, keeps his head down, and go to work. And I told him at halftime, get ready, because you getting ready to get in, and you're gonna make a play. I mean that's simple as that conversation. And I saw him warming up to get loose, and went back to him and he delivered. He was ready. He didn't sulk. He didn't, trip because a freshman had a great game the week prior.
Sure.
So that took his job, but he didn't go into the shell and play little poor little old me. He just was waiting for his opportunity, and now he got it back. So he'll be starting this week.
That goes along with something I saw. Your social media team released a video the other day where you were talking to the team, and you were talking to them about basically taking care of business and getting upset with you and the coaching staff because you're telling them they need to take care of business. I thought that was an interesting message you had for your guys.
Yeah, it was deeper than that. We didn't show you everything, but it was,
Right.
It was a little deeper than that, but that's the truth. These guys want to be compensated like NILs and collectives. They want to do this, they want to do that, but you don't want to be treated like a man, but you want to get paid like a man.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Yeah.
And you don't want to get challenged like a man. You want manly responsibilities, but you don't want to be a man. I don't understand that whatsoever. I'm not going to tolerate that.
And then they were getting upset with you guys for talking to them about being a man and living up to those responsibilities.
No, they're getting upset with us for holding them accountable.
It's okay.
Yeah, when you do this, there's accountability for that.
Yeah.
When you do this, there's accountability for that. If you keep doing this, this is what's going to happen to you. And the little fairy tale world that they live in right now, even your kids, college students, that you're taking care of a tremendous amount of the responsibility, that's going to be over in 3 to 4 years, right?
That's right.
So what's going to happen if they haven't prepared for that time? It's going to be a shock because you're not going to bring them back in your house and let them just kick it and sit around while you working. I don't believe in that. Yeah, I don't believe in that. I don't condone it, and I'm not going to put up with it. So I'm trying to build men right now because that thing will be over. That's what I alluded to. It'll be over in a moment, in a minute, and they got to be ready.
So that kind of mindset, that kind of culture you're building there, that kind of sifts out, shall we say, the chaff in the process, doesn't it? I mean, guys kind of sort themselves out because they're not willing to go along with that kind of mindset.
Yeah, because there's not just accountability, there's a standard.
Sure.
The standard is the standard, and I'm not going to change. God made me this way and built me this way and established me this way for a certain reason. I ain't changing. Right. I'm 56, and I'm cool with me.
Yeah.
I am. I just looked in the mirror before I came, and I'm cool with that. So I'm not going to change, so somebody's going to have to change, and it ain't going to be me.
The Buffaloes coming off the win, sitting at 4-2, by the way. Did you see the other day the metrics people at ESPN said that the probability, in their estimation, before the season began, of being 4-2 was 0.2% chance for the Buffaloes. How about that?
Vegas did that too, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I love when they bet against me.
Yeah. A lot of folks were doubting.
That kind of turns me on, actually.
Now the Buffs get ready for Stanford coming in. A Friday night game, short week for the Buffaloes this week. You got an 8 o'clock game. Gary and I are going to hit the air at 6 p.m. We'll be out in Dwayne Field. Again, Mr. Affleck will be out in Math Field.
It makes these 8 o'clock games. That's the dumbest thing ever happened.
I know. It's those fellows over the television
Stupidest
side.
thing ever invented in life. Who wants to stay up to 8 o'clock for a darn game?
You wait till we do it.
What about the West Coast?
Yes.
I mean, the East Coast. Do they even care about ratings or anybody watching it?
I know. You wait.
What are we supposed to do with? I'm sorry, I'm venting. What are we supposed to do with the kids all day until 8 o'clock?
Yeah. Wait till we're on the road.
What are we supposed to do all day until 8 o'clock? So what you supposed to do in the hotel?
Yep.
What you supposed to do all day?
Watching football.
Who's playing on Friday?
And then the next day, if when we have a game like that on the road, we get home at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank God we're not going to be in this conference.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. We'll be playing east of here. There'll be earlier games coming up. Let's go and take a timeout. We're here at the Post Chicken and Beer. It's Buffs Prime Time, presented by Aflac. More with Coach Prime after this. This is Colorado Football from Learfield. University of Colorado football is brought to us by the Hiltons on Canyon. Coming to Boulder for game day, stay at the Hiltons on Canyon, proud hotel partner of the Buffaloes. Back on Buffs Prime Time, presented by Aflac here at the Post Chicken and Beer. We're out here normally every Thursday. Today, Wednesday, because we've got a Friday night game. We continue with Coach Prime here. By the way, we've got Nick Williams is coming up.
Who's that?
Nick Williams, your defensive line
I thought
coach.
You said Hank Williams.
No.
Hey, yeah.
That boy, Hank Williams and the Aflac Duck and you. That'd be a heck of a show today. We got Nick Williams coming up, and also Jordan.
This gonna be fun.
Yeah, he's
Nick
a great
got
personality.
energy. Nick is hilarious.
Yes, he is. Yeah, and Jordan Dominic is going to be our player.
JD's good. That's one of his players.
Yeah, he's playing very well right now.
These guys are filming our documentary, so we document everything. That means I keep receipts on everything. So
yeah.
They're around every day, and they do a phenomenal job.
You know, when you walk through the hallways of the Champion Center, you see the signs around right now. You guys wouldn't know this. There are signs up basically saying you're being recorded right now.
Right. Because,
Yeah.
I think we were up for an award last year for the documentary that we shot in Jackson. They do a phenomenal job, and you're going to get to see a whole different side of the Colorado Buffs than you even fathom, and get to know the kids a little closer as well as the coaches. It's going to be it's a good doc. They do a great job.
Coach Prime, having microphones and cameras around all the time.
I grew up like that.
Do you forget about them at times?
Yeah. Once, because you got to understand, family-wise, we've done 2 reality shows with my entire family, so my kids are so used to it, so they're accustomed to it, and we've filmed football ever since we was in high school. So Shador's freshman year on through, we've always had some type of show going on and some type of filming, so those kids could. Everybody want to shine. Everybody want the light. We give it to them.
Right.
You better just do your job when the light is on you.
I saw this morning, by the way. I don't even know if you know this. Did you know that there is a significant athletic moment in your life that happened on this date in 1992? Do you remember that?
I probably do.
Yeah. What do you think that would be?
92?
October. So October 11th.
You talking about, if it's October, you're talking about baseball.
It actually both.
That's the trigger.
Yeah.
October baseball.
Yeah. Right. Today in 1992, you became the first person to play in an NFL game and a Major League Baseball game on the same day.
Yeah.
How did that come about? I mean, the schedule, obviously, but.
That came about from, this is a deep story, man.
Yeah?
It's a painful story, but it's a great story.
Well, we're all family here.
Yeah,
so go ahead and
we're
tell
all
us.
family.
Yeah.
I was contracted to play for the Atlanta Falcons. As August the 1st, when that came, my football contract kicked in, and my baseball contract was over. So, but we had a great Braves baseball team that were going to the playoffs. So I would practice football and come down 85 and go help my baseball team. So it was nothing. Everything was great.
Yeah.
So we get to the playoffs, and I'm not even playing. I'm just coming to help, pinch run, pinch hit, whatever you need me to do. I'm good. So I got to the playoffs, and my mother say, those 2 gentlemen up there talking in the game, they're talking real bad about you. I'm like, what are they saying? That you're selfish and you're this because you're playing football and baseball? I'm like, I'm coming to help them. Like, that contract is over. But that's not what was displayed.
Sure.
And it kind of, when your mama call you, hey, okay, now. Yeah, all right, now, it's my mama called me. That ain't no anybody else. So I was really upset about that.
Yeah.
So now we're in we get to the World Series.
Yeah. And we're talking about Tim McCarver here.
Yeah. We get to the World Series, and we're playing against David Cone.
Sure.
David Cone, baseball is very analytical. So David Cone, analytics-wise, I'm hitting like 700 off David Cone. So you got me on the bench, so you can't help but come to me. I'm just sitting back, you gonna come to me. Yeah. You playing today.
Sure. The numbers dictate it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I get in, I'm playing, and I think I was 3 for 4.
Is that right?
Yeah, a couple stolen bases because I was, David Cone couldn't get me out. It was something about it. I could see the ball out of his hand really clear.
Who was a great pitcher, by the way. Not a
David
good
Cone
pitcher.
was
He
awesome.
great. Yeah.
Awesome. So I played, I think I was 3 for 4, a couple bags. So they had to keep me in. You couldn't bench me after I'm 3 for 4, a couple bags. And I'm, like, why had he played?
Yeah.
You had to answer that question. So I got in the next game. I think I was 2 for 4. A couple more stolen bases.
Right.
So it just kept going, and I was just dominating. And they kept painting me in this
Somehow
picture.
that was selfish.
Yeah, but before that is when it happened that I wasn't playing in the playoffs. I'm just sitting on the bench,
Yeah.
and we playing against the Miami Dolphins, and that's Dan Marino, Nat Moore, shoot, all those receivers.
Great offense.
Oh my God! And I said I gotta be there because I know we're gonna get our butts kicked. And I'm sitting on the bench for 9 innings. They're not gonna play me.
Yeah.
So I said I'm going. So Nike provided the plane to get me from there to there, and they checked it out. I can make it to the game at 1 o'clock and get back before this game even start. I'm not playing anyway, so I'm good. And that's how it went down.
Is that right?
And we got our butts kicked in Pittsburgh, and I know they weren't gonna put me in, and they didn't put me in. And I'm just sitting up there like I know they ain't gonna play me.
Yeah.
And they didn't play me, but they had that venom in them, and John Sherhouse was feeding that guy.
Tim McCarver.
Yeah, that information, not telling them that my contract was over.
Sure. Yeah.
So it was all, I was looked upon by the whole country. See, that's before social media.
Yeah.
See, if there was social media involved, I could have told my side of the story.
Yeah.
But then there was no social media, so they painted you the way they wanted to paint you, and you guys went for it. You believed it.
And
so
there was no rebuttal at all.
no rebuttal.
Yeah.
And I just had to play my way out of it. And I hit my way out of it, and
Yes,
stole
you did.
my way out of it, and
Yes, you
fielded
did.
my way out of it. So
Oh, that's an interesting moment. I recall that very.
I loved it. I loved every minute of it. I wanted to win so bad. I wanted to win so bad because I know if we won, I would have been the MVP, and I was going to roast them because they had to bring the mic to me then.
Right.
Yeah, they had to bring the mic to me and say, how do you feel? You're the MVP of the World Series. He didn't want me to play. He didn't want me to
Well, as I recall, there ended up being some Gatorade involved in the whole thing.
I was going to be petty. I was going to be petty. I promise you I was going to be petty. I really was.
Yeah.
I was very immature at that age and stage, and I was going to be petty and let them know
Outstanding.
everything they did to me.
Hey, real quick, we got a couple minutes left.
sir.
Travis has been practicing. How
Yeah.
we feel about Travis?
Travis looks good. Travis is Travis, man. God don't make too many of those.
That's right.
Yeah, and he's most likely going to play.
Fantastic.
Yeah, he's most likely. We got to see how he practices tomorrow. Like today was the day off for him. You can't just work. You had to take it easy today. He practiced both ways yesterday because that's who he is.
Sure.
He has a protection on his ribs, protection, and we got to see how he goes through practice tomorrow. And I promise you, he'll be in my office He'll be in my office before I get there tomorrow, waiting on me, telling me how much he wants to play.
Well, you've kind of said with him, you got to kind of pull back in the reins because he wants to go all the time. I mean, would you put him on a pitch count in the game?
No.
No.
Travis is the kind of guy you just let him go.
Is that right?
You can't do that with him. He's not that kind of guy. Like when pro scouts come and ask me, should we draft him as a receiver or defensive back? So you got to draft him at both.
Yeah.
If you play him on one side, you're not going to get the best of him.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's a grown man out there playing amongst boys.
Stanford, Friday night. You got a short week. I don't know how that affects things, but I know that you're a big fan.
It's great with a short week and you're at home.
You like it? Okay.
You don't want to be in a short week and you got to travel.
Yeah.
Because that's even a shorter week for you.
Sure.
So Stanford, they're going to play us tough. I mean, they're going to try to get out to a good start. They're going to try to run the darn football effectively to keep our offense on the field. You should see a different offense as well as a different defense. You should see a different approach to some things that we're trying to accomplish this week.
Okay, fantastic. And I know you don't like the 8 o'clock games, but we'll get through this.
Excuse me?
I said you don't like the 8 o'clock games, but we'll get through it, though. It'll be all right.
Know what we're going to do all day before that. I'm going to just find Steve Harvey and watch it all day. That's my guy.
There you go. Why not? Hey, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
It's always good to have your partner, the Aflac Duck, here. And,
Love Aflac.
Let's get a win on Friday.
We better.
Let's hear it for Coach Prime. He and the Buffaloes have got Stanford on Friday night. We're going to hit the air at 6 o'clock with the Buffalo Stampede pregame show. We'll go ahead and take a timeout. We come back. Nick Williams, defensive line coach. And then we've got Jordan Dominic's going to join us as well. We're here at the Post Chicken and Beer. This is Colorado Football from Learfield. Hey, every week the Coaches Show is hosted by the Post Chicken and Beer in downtown Boulder with 7 Colorado Front Range locations. The Post brews up delicious award-winning beers and fries up the crispiest, juiciest hot chicken around. Fried chicken and beer go together like black and gold football. Stop by the Post for all your game time provisions. And for next week's show, well, actually, wait a second now. We don't have a show next week because we got a bye week. Got to make sure you announce that. Don't show up next week. We're taking the week off. We'll be back the following Thursday. With the program once again from noon until 1 o'clock. Time for our assistant coaches segment. Nick Williams, defensive line coach for the Buffaloes, joining us.
How you guys doing? Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I said to him when he sat down, I said, you missed the duck. He said, oh, no, I was getting photos back there taken with the duck. Yeah,
That was pretty cool.
yeah, kind of you got to grab one of these little toys for your kids.
I will.
Yeah.
I will.
How you enjoying your time in Boulder so far, huh?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. It's expensive,
Yeah. Well, that's that we all know. Yeah, you're preaching to the choir right here with everybody.
but it's really cool.
Give us some of your background. Tell us about your family, where you came from, how you got into coaching, that kind of thing.
I'm originally from South Georgia, Bainbridge, a small town, about 30 minutes from Tallahassee, Florida.
Okay.
So I played at the University of Georgia.
All right.
Played 3 or 4 years in the CFL.
Okay.
And once I was done playing football, I had to get back into coaching and get around the game. So I went back to school and got my bachelor's, my master's, and started coaching.
Was it a foregone conclusion? Because a lot of times you talk to players, and they love the game, obviously, but the idea when they watch their coaching staffs and they see the effort and the time that the guys put in, they're like, I want no part of that as a career. Why did that appeal to you?
That's one of the reasons that runs a lot of people off is the time. And, you know, my wife and my kids, they sacrifice so much, and it seems like I haven't watched them grow up any. You know, I had my baby girl, and now she's 5, and it's like, where did the time go? So, but I'm passionate about what I do, and I do it for the boys, and I always wanted to be the coach that I didn't have.
Yeah.
So that's really what drives me is, you know, I needed a lot in college, and some of those things I got, some of those things I didn't. So.
What was there a coach that you had, high school, college, wherever, maybe CFL, somebody that really impacted you?
Absolutely. This guy named Larry Clark. He was my track coach in high school. And one thing that I really love about Coach Clark was he was brutally honest, you know, all the time with us. And I hung out with guys that went to college. We were all like-minded. But, you know, when we were off track and we wasn't doing the things that was conducive to us being successful, he would let us know.
That's right.
And he was like another father figure to me.
Okay.
I had a great dad, but
Yeah.
he was like a dad away from home. And
All right.
Coach Larry Clark.
How many kids do you have?
2.
You got
I have
2 of them.
2-year-old little boy named Noah.
All right.
And a 5-year-old little girl named Nala.
Oh, man.
My little boy is terrible.
I'd say. Chip off the old block, is that what you're saying?
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
He really enjoys getting whoopings.
Okay. Oh, is that right?
Have you ever met a 2-year-old that
Wow.
loves? Oh, man.
Man.
When he's like when he's good,
Yeah.
that's not good enough for him.
Is that right?
He has to do something to get a spanking.
That means he's going to grow up and be a football player right there. He likes that kind of stuff, right?
He is.
How long you been married?
2 years,
2
but
years.
we've been together for 7,
Okay. All right.
going on 8.
All right. Boy, now it's a good thing she's not here. You hesitated way too
No.
long before you answered.
Well, we've been together so long, so
Yes?
I wanted to say
Okay.
married
All
for
right.
7.
All right,
You know,
I'll give you that. I'll
we're
give you
married
that.
for 2. Yeah.
Coaching defensive line, okay? How's that group performed?
They've done okay.
Okay.
It's never good enough.
Right.
They haven't. Sometimes we live up to the standard. Sometimes we don't.
Yeah.
So that's what we're searching for right now is consistency. And there are guys that come from all different aspects of the country, different universities. So, you know, building team continuity and getting them to gel and believing something bigger than themselves is, you know, kind of hard to do in the first year. But
Sure.
they're growing and they're moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
The standard that we're looking for here at Colorado.
I think defensively, Nick, wouldn't you say that you know our numbers aren't quite where we want them right now, right?
No,
And so it's a work in progress at this point.
Yes, sir.
Safe to say.
Yeah, and it starts at practice every day.
Yeah.
We're working to that standard, and we'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Well, coaching with Charles Kelly, I mean, he's got quite a resume, right? And I get a chance. In fact, I'm doing it this afternoon, where I sit down with he and Sean, and I do a little piece with the coordinators. He's an impressive guy.
Oh my God, he's elite. I've always heard about him before I got a chance to work with him, but he's so smart. You know, he spends a lot of time at the facility. He's the last one to leave.
Right.
He's there until 11:30, 12. He just works so hard.
Yeah.
And when you see a D coordinator working that hard, you have to. You got to match his energy. But everything that I heard about him prior to working with him has been true.
When you're around those kind of coaches, and I've been around a few guys like that over the years, I mean, it's like being around a mad scientist, isn't it? I mean, these guys are always thinking scheme and how do we adjust and what do we do? It's got to be an education for a young coach.
I learn so much every day from him. And don't get it, what we're doing is extremely hard. We just got here in January. But our team that we have now got here in June.
Yes, that's right.
So we had to teach them a complex scheme that we run in the SEC. It's kind of from the Nick Saban tree and Coach Smart tree. But we've taught these guys the defense, and we're winning with them.
Yeah.
So, and that's a contribute to Coach Kelly. We kind of just follow his lead. And if you ever see him in practice, he's high energy.
Yes,
and,
he is. Yes, he is.
I try to match his energy.
Yeah, this guy's a high-energy guy if you're out at practice as well. Well, the good news is in the Pac-12, you don't face many good offenses. So it's got to be nice defensively, right?
Shit,
I mean,
they're pretty
holy
good.
cow,
They're
every
pretty-
week, man. It's a Heisman Trophy candidate every week you guys are going against.
Every week.
Yeah.
I think the two best offenses in college football are in the Pac-12.
I agree.
Oregon and USC.
Yeah, yeah.
They're really good.
Yeah, and then the fact that every day, and Charles made this comment to me, he said, we have faced the three best quarterbacks in the country, in his opinion. He said, we got Caleb Williams at USC.
Absolutely.
You got Bo Nix at Oregon, and we face Shedeur Sanders every day in practice.
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
That's got to be good training for you guys.
It is. Yeah. It is. It really is. You see our guys getting better every day because of the two.
Yeah.
And he's the best quarterback in the country to me now.
Yeah, well, he's something special.
He's special.
How did you get connected with Coach Prime? How did that happen?
When I was at the University of Georgia, I was recruiting in Shedeur and Shiloh to Georgia.
Is that right?
And I ended up signing a safety from Coach Prime's high school, Lewis Seen.
Okay.
He got drafted first round to the Vikings. And I did such a good job with Lewis. I was calling Coach Prime. I started off recruiting before I really learned ball, and I was a big-time recruiter. So I was calling Coach Prime all the time, and I think he respected my work ethic.
Yeah.
He appreciated how I took care of Shedeur and Shiloh when they came on campus. And man, he told me one day, he was like, I'm going to hire you, man. I'm going to hire you one day. So that was 6 years ago. And I got the call when I was at Texas A&M.
Is that a little bit overwhelming when you get that call from that man?
Yeah. Oh, my God. It was 1 o'clock in the morning, I think.
Oh,
I didn't go to sleep. After I talked to him, I don't think I was so excited.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't believe that he really did what he said he was going to do.
What is the key? And again, Nick's reputation as being a phenomenal recruiter. You can tell with his personality, he's got great energy. In 2023, what's the key to recruiting young men in this day and age?
Relationships.
Is it still as simple as that?
Yeah, well, but keep it real with them.
Okay.
They can tell, and Jordan Dominique will tell you. They know real from fake.
Yeah.
And I'm honest with them. And they appreciate that. Whether it's what they want to hear or not. I build great relationships with their parents because a lot of these kids' parents remind me of my parents.
Sure.
When I was getting recruited in college, taking me around the country to different schools. So it's really easy, just being yourself. Yeah. And they'll appreciate that. They don't like the fakeness now.
Sure, right.
You'll run them off.
If you're trying to put on a show, they're going to see through that.
They're going to see right through that. Yeah. So just be yourself,
Lastly here, you got Stanford coming in. When Coach was out here a while ago, he said, they run the ball pretty effectively. Give a quick thought on Stanford's offense, what we're going to see.
Well, I think they're going to run the ball, and number 84, the tight end, he's the leading receiver, so we got to shut him down. And we've stopped the run the last 2 weeks, so we got to be consistent in that, and I think we will. But we're going to come out fast. We got to start fast.
Sure.
We make so many mistakes on defense, and we're still winning. And once these boys buy in and start to be able to strain and think, we're going to be really, really good.
It's got to be nice to have Travis back on.
Oh, yeah, that's really.
That adds a whole new deal to back out of that defense.
I'm going to sleep good tonight. I'll sleep good.
Hey, Nick, thanks for coming out and joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Let's hear for Nick Williams, defensive line coach for the Buffaloes. One of his guys, Jordan Dominic, is going to join us next as we continue on Bucs Prime Time for the Post Chicken and Beer. This is Colorado football from Learfield. Our final segment is our players segment here on Bus Prime Time, presented by Aflac. Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover. Visit aflac.com to learn more. Again, for you folks in attendance, Mr. Aflac will be out here in just a few minutes, and you can take photos with him and that kind of thing, and meet Jordan Dominic is here, defensive lineman for the Buffaloes.
How y'all doing? How's everybody doing tonight?
I said to Jordan, I said, did you meet the duck? He goes, oh, he's back there taking a selfie video with the duck.
Man, I already have a video posted on Instagram.
Look
I'm
at
telling
you, man.
I
Look
kept
at
that
you.
duck with me.
So let me get this straight now. With all the stars that have come through the program, you've been most excited about meeting the Aflac
Man,
duck.
the duck is amazing. Like, you got to think. I grew up watching that duck. Like, my parents tell me, you need insurance, we going to Aflac, you know? So, just be able to, like, there's so many stars coming in the building, but, like, being up close with, like, the Aflac duck, and it was just, like, a random duck at first to me.
Sure.
So I was like, oh, y'all just got a live duck in here, which is cool to me. But then they told me it was the actual Aflac duck. I'm like, oh, wow, okay.
Right.
But no, it's crazy the amount of stars that Coach Prime has been able to bring in. And
What is it like from he and I were just talking before we went on. You started your career at Georgia Tech and you're at Arkansas and you come here. And we were just talking about the attention that Coach Prime generates around the program. It's got to be surreal for you when you come in, okay, you're new community, new team, new program, new education. I'm going to start playing football, and oh, by the way, there's Snoop, and there's Rick Ross, and I mean, whoever else. I mean, it's got to be crazy being around that program a little bit.
Yeah, it's really surreal because where I'm from, I was always taught, the SEC has the best crowds. The SEC is always, the loudest, the craziest.
That's not truth anymore.
Not anymore. Ever since coming out here to Colorado and just seeing the entire, change in the atmosphere of just the Pac-12 in general with USC, Oregon, Colorado, just the amount of people that are in each crowd, the amount of stars that want to come to each game, the amount of people that are just watching on TV. I'm used to seeing okay, we had a game, it was on ESPN, we maybe got 1 million viewers, 2 million viewers at the most, at the very most. And then we're out here, we're getting 9 million viewers for a rivalry game. I'm like, oh, this is ridiculous. This is crazy. So it's definitely a surreal feeling to be able to see, Coach told you guys are going to be put on that national spotlight stage. You're going to be put in there. So the exposure is going to be real. You're going to be able to show yourself to the entire nation.
Yeah.
And he wasn't lying about that. So, we take it every day, and it's just surreal. But at the end of the day, you got to make sure you lock in and focus and realize, hey, at the end of the day, it's only 11 of us on the field at a time. It's
That's
not
right.
a whole 9 million, you know. So just being able to understand that and keeping it under control, even though you understand we're in – the biggest story in college, in all sports right now, we're in the biggest story, but just being able to keep it under control and keep composure.
During the broadcast, I get to call this guy's name a lot. You're out there making plays. You feel good about the way you're playing right now?
I feel all right.
Okay.
I feel like I've made some plays. I feel like I've also left a lot on the table as well, and a lot of my coaches are telling me that as well. I know I have a lot to work on, especially with Coach Williams. He said it before. We have a lot to work on. We make a lot of mistakes, but I really have pride in our defense and the way that we play and the way we can get to the ball and the way that we run. We're able to eliminate mistakes that we made just by our pure effort. So I feel like I have a lot more that I can do, and I have a lot more maturity to make within my football game. And with Coach Williams, Coach Kelly, Coach Sal, they're definitely pushing me in the right direction. And I feel like I've been so much better than I have been my past few years in college. Just being there, just taking leaps and bounds.
Yeah. How tough was it to come here then and absorb this system and understand exactly what your assignments are?
So coming in, I was one of the few that came in over the spring when I came in, and I came in January. So being able to get a jump start on the system and understand was definitely a huge help. It's a struggle, believe me. It's a very complex system, something that's been formulated over many, many years, over many great minds. It's come from the Coach Saban tree, Coach Kirby Smart tree.
Yep.
Now Coach Kelly has it. He's making it his own. And pretty soon we're going to be talking about, hey, it came from the Coach Kelly tree, when he's, his home man. But just being able to come in and just understand, look, this is the game plan. This is how complex it is. But we also have a chance where you can come in and talk to any coach. You can go in there and study. It's just all about you. So even though it is a complex game plan, as long as you put the effort and the time and the energy into it to be able to understand what the game plan is, you're going to be able to play the way you want to play. And the coaches have emphasized that a lot. So it's not just, oh, you're doing this, you're doing that each and every play. It's more so you got to be able to think, move, and react on your feet at the same time. As soon as you're in the game, you have to be able to think and react, get the call, get the play, get down, run. So just being able to understand that, it not just helps you in the college level, but also at a professional level, because I feel like a lot of NFL coaches are looking for guys that are able to critically think and be able to think on the fly. Yeah. So being in a system like this, it allows you to really hone in and truly show your professionalism.
Give us a quick thought. We've got about 60 seconds left here.
Gotcha.
And isn't he fantastic, by the way? Huh? First time I interviewed Jordan, holy cow, man.
Thank you.
When the playing career is over, you better have a headset on and be talking
Man,
to
I'm
somebody
gonna be right
about
here
it.
next to you.
I
What you
like it.
mean?
I like.
I
There we
love
go.
it.
All right, we got. Watch out, Barnett. We got your replacement. Give us a quick Friday night. Stanford coming in. Give us a quick thought about Stanford.
Stanford, great team, definitely smart players, definitely good individuals. They got some great players. Number 84, Coach Nick Williams stepped on him before. Great tight end, leading receiver. We definitely have to lock him down. They have a good couple quarterbacks in. I heard they have a hurt quarterback, but you don't really know until game time. So just being able to come out there and understanding our defense, we have to play on their side of the line of ball. We have to dominate. We have to be physical. We have to be physical up front. We have to be able to know our end. Know what we do on the back end very well. And we have to be able to communicate across all levels of the defense to be able to be, successful in what we want to do. And even though that we've been good as a defense so far, but we still have a lot way to go.
All right, good luck on Friday, all right?
Thank you.
Let's
I
hear for
appreciate
Jordan
it.
Dominic. Outstanding job. It's Buffs Prime Time. We're not here next week, by the way. The week after, 6 o'clock pregame on Friday night, we'll have it. Buffs and Stanford Cardinal. Thanks, everybody, for being out here. This is Colorado Football from Learfield.